Good morning. Guys, inspection day, and what are some things currently on the market, plus what are some things coming very soon. I absolutely love when I represent a buyer, because inspection day is the day that they ultimately get to decide, are they moving forward with the purchase of the sale. So what I always say to people is, listen, when you see something hit the market, if you are pre-approved and you can submit an offer, and you are worried that tomorrow that property or that home may not be available, and you're not 100% sure that you want to buy it, but you're pretty sure that you want to buy it, get it under contract, which means submit your best offer and get it under contract. And then you have the opportunity, make sure your realtor or whoever's typing up your contract gives you plenty of due diligence and inspection days. And during that due diligence and inspection period, you as the buyer have the right to hire anyone at all or no one at all. You can inspect it yourself if you wanted to. Anybody at all to come and inspect that home, to make sure that you still want to buy it. Because listen, I tell people every day, there's no such thing as a perfect home. None. And an inspector's job, especially if you're hiring a licensed inspector, their job is to find things wrong with it. And I don't care if it was built yesterday or if it was built 20 years ago. They are going to find deficiencies with that home. That's just what they do. They're not looking for anything cosmetically wrong. They're not looking for anything ugly. They're looking for things that are not up to code, things that are broken, things that are a safety hazard, those types of things. And so you as the buyer have the right, if you have it in your contract, and I hope you do, enough due diligence time to get those inspections scheduled. If you have a pool, you can have the pool inspected. If you have a jacuzzi, you can have the jacuzzi inspected. If the roof has had damage in the past and you want to check the roof out, you can have a roofer out there. You can have anybody out there during your due diligence and inspection time to inspect that home. And then once you get the reports from the different people, you are then back to negotiating with the seller, and you have a couple of different options. Now, the great news is if you're dealing with a realtor who has closed lots and lots and lots and lots of transactions, like I have, they are great at negotiating for you, which means they're going to negotiate if things need to be fixed, if you want them fixed, if things are not up to code, if you want them brought up to code. If you don't want the seller to do anything, if you want to hire all your own people after closing, but you want them to give you the money to do so. So there are so many endless choices that you can make during that due diligence and inspection period. And you could potentially save thousands upon thousands of dollars if you have a realtor on your side who is very savvy at negotiating and who has been through many different inspections. I've probably been through over 250 inspections. I have seen it all. And remember this, if you're a buyer and you're buying something and you absolutely love it and you love the location of it, every single thing is repairable. Everything. I've seen homes with foundation issues, roof issues, electrical issues, plumbing issues, every issue in between. Every single thing is repairable. So if you absolutely fell in love with this place and fell in love with the neighborhood, do not walk away just because something's wrong, because I guarantee you there will be something wrong. There's no such thing as a perfect house. It doesn't exist. And every different inspector is going to find different things. So some are very thorough. Some, just like in any career, right? In any career, there's what I call the bell curve. If you've ever been in education, you know the bell curve means that there are a small percentage of people who fall into the ABC category. There are more people that fall into the CD category, and then less people that fall into the F category, right? So a bell curve system. So with any career, there's the bell curve. So in the inspector world, There are those people that are very, very thorough. There are those people that are very lazy, that are maybe just old and tired of doing it. I once had an inspector, and we had a house on Piers that said he was too big and too old to crawl under the house. His house was on Piers. Now, how thorough of an inspection you think he's going to do if he says, I cannot crawl under the house because I'm too big and I'm too old? Needless to say, I told him, thank you for his service, and he left, and we got a new inspector. So, they have lazy ones, they have amazing ones, and then they have those average ones, right? So when you're looking for an inspector, if you don't know any, give me a call or message me and say, look, we're looking for a very thorough inspector, or we just want average. Some people, actually, buyers, believe it or not, when I say to them, do you want one that's just average, or do you want one that's super thorough? Some choose average. Some people don't want the house nitpicked to death, and others want the house nitpicked to death. And that's absolutely the buyer's choice, all right? So then after inspections, after you're back to negotiating, and remember, if you've hired a realtor, you do none of those negotiations yourself at all. The realtors between themselves do the negotiating. Let's just say the roof is 20 years old, and you know that it's going to be very difficult for you to get insurance on a house. Now, actually, believe it or not, most insurance companies will give you a hard time if you're trying to get insurance on a house that has a roof older than 10 years. So if you're looking at a house and the roof is older than 10 years, and one thing you're asking the sellers to do is replace the roof, that's not something that you're going to ask them. It's something that your realtor is going to type up, and they're going to then submit it to the other realtor, and that realtor is going to submit it to the seller, and the seller is going to then decide, do they want to replace the roof for you, or whatever the case may be. They don't have to. Remember this, as the buyer, you can ask the seller to do anything you want them to do, and they don't have to do anything at all. And you, as the buyer, then get to decide, are you walking away? Do you love the house so much that you don't care if they fix anything? You have the choice. But if it does matter, and you say, you know what, I'm looking in a neighborhood where there's 5 other houses just like yours, we're going to cancel the contract and find one that's in better condition, you absolutely have the right to do that as the buyer within your due diligence period time. So make sure, if you have a realtor that's representing you, that they give you ample time for due diligence and inspection periods so that you can get that done and walk away and cancel the contract during that time for any reason. And another thing buyers do not realize is this: during your due diligence and inspection time, you can cancel the contract with the seller for any reason, and you don't have to give them one. You do not have to say, I'm canceling the contract because. You just say, I'm canceling the contract, and you have the right to do so. So remember that. Now, if you have, let's say, 7 days of due diligence, and you have not gotten around to hiring an inspector, or your realtor hasn't gotten around to hiring an inspector, and on day 8, you decide you're having it inspected, you can have it inspected all you want, but you legally are bound by that contract, and you cannot cancel it. If you cancel it, once your due diligence inspection period is over, the seller can sue you, and the seller will win every single time, because the contract is a legally binding document between you and the seller. So remember that. All right, so listen, what's coming up? I have some very, very, very exciting homes coming for sale very soon that I'm so happy about. As most of you know, I live in Iota. So of course, when I get the opportunity to list anything in my hometown, it absolutely excites me. I love to list anything, anywhere, and I've driven as far as Westlake, Lake Charles, Erath, Oberlin, Delcombe. I will go anywhere to list a home, but my favorite place to list a home is in my local community, all the time. So, right down the road from me, if you want to be my neighbor, there is going to be a gorgeous home just a couple of miles north of I-10. So if you know of anyone that works in Lafayette or Lake Charles or anywhere nearby, this is going to be close proximity to I-10. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, almost 2,000 square feet on 4 acres with a pond, with an outdoor kitchen, with a huge shop that's large enough to house an RV, and plenty of storage. Plus, an a back screened-in porch. The inside of this house looks like it was just built yesterday. In fact, it still smells new. It's absolutely dynamically gorgeous. And so we have pictures and videos coming in soon. I think this one is probably going to go live by the end of the day today, so be on the lookout for that one. If you want to drive by and check it out, it's 2661 Connie Road in Iota. It's on the corner of Highway 1120, which is Bravo Road, and the corner of Connie Road. So it's on the corner. So you'll see two of my signs, one on Bravo Road and one on Connie Road. That place is spectacular. It actually, to me, from the front, is a little deceiving because it's way, way, way larger inside than it appears to be from the outside. And when you walk in, the ceilings are super tall, so it's very airy, very bright, and it literally looks like it was just finished being built a couple of weeks ago. And that one's going to be priced somewhere between $450 and $465-ish. We haven't decided for sure, but we will be deciding that as soon as we see all the videos and the pictures. I want to see it in pictures first. What else is coming? So Dr. McManus's house, those of you that are familiar with Iota, Dr. Mac's house, that house actually is on 3.6 acres, and it is on the outskirts of town. It's actually in the city limits, but in town, to have a house on over 3.5 acres is unheard of. And it's so crazy because a couple of times that I've been there, when you're in the back is all covered by a huge patio area that is just an amazing backyard entertainment area. You feel like you're in the country. There's hardly no traffic noise. It's quiet. So the perks of being in town, but being on 3.67 acres is great. That home is in immaculate condition. They took amazing care of that house. Plus it has a huge shop with 2 automatic garage door opens, and it has an outdoor kitchen and a full bathroom. So it's almost like having two separate houses. That one, we're not sure on the price point yet, but I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere between $250 and $275. We're not real sure. So they're having an estate sale. I think it actually started today. If you go look at our Iota Facebook page, the schedule is there. I think it's today, tomorrow, and Saturday, and then hopefully it's all clean, it's all empty. We're gonna take pictures, we're gonna take videos, it's gonna hit the market. And so it's under $300,000, and it is a great home. It has a whole house generator, has a new roof, just a great place. And I'm drawing a blank. Thank you to everyone who shared that little house in South Crowley that was only $78,000, because it's actually going to be going under contract for full price in the next hour or two. And that one's adorable, absolutely adorable. And I'm so excited for that couple that owns it because since it went under contract and they know that they're going to be closing on it in a couple of weeks, they get to move closer to their family and buy another house. So that is always so, so, so exciting. Y'all, guys, this is such a beautiful day. Enjoy this weather. Enjoy this day. Remember this. There are no stupid questions at all. If you have any questions regarding real estate, either buying or selling, I love dealing with buyers. I love dealing with sellers. It excites me every time I speak to a new person about buying or selling, and I would love to represent you. So if you're thinking about buying or selling and do not have any idea how to get started, give me a call. If you're thinking about selling, it is an amazing time to be a seller. As many listings as I have and as many listings as all my friend realtors have, there are never enough homes and land to go around for the number of buyers looking. That is an absolute guarantee. Never enough to choose from. Y'all have a great day. Take care.